This is Irontrader. This is the last call of the day. So I'm going to take a look here at Bitcoin, crude oil, and natural gas. But first of all, I'll take a look here at Goldman Sachs and JPM, which are nice in the green there today. Okay, at the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy on stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Okay, here we have Goldman Sachs daily, JPM daily. Now, we got a turnaround Tuesday, all right, because we had a huge run all the way up, and now everything is in the red, okay? Now, I've been telling you here for the last week or so here, this is a trader's market, okay? So this is not like, say, I'm going to buy and hold kind of situation. But I say, again, watch that VIX. When you see that VIX spike like that, that's your buying opportunity to get in here. But you got to know that you got to sell this. Nothing is resolved yet. So until I get all this tariff action going and get this all resolved, then it's a buying opportunity for buy and hold. But right now, traders market. Now, you can see Goldman Sachs here today. Look at how nice that was. It got as high as 491.92. Now it's where we're sitting at 466.14 level. Okay, so what we want to watch is take a look at the upside. We want to watch that 491.92 level. Okay, now that's your gap. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to look to the bottom of this candle here. That's your low of 509.56, and then we have this 8-day sitting at 514.45. Then what we're going to do is we're going to look to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 520.06, and then we're coming over here. You're looking at 523.13, and then we can start heading right for your 21-day at 539.83, and possibly 200-day sitting there at 544.28. But you got to get past this gap and that fill in that 8-day in order to do all that. Now, on the downside, we want to watch today's low, okay? So you're looking at 464.48, and then we want to watch the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 460 flat, okay? And then your big retest down here is 439.38 level here. Now, as you can see how nice we rallied on up here. But again, I can't express this enough. This is a trader's market. This is not, I'm going to buy and I'm going to hold here, unless you're looking up for years out or something on that order. But, right now, this is a trader's market, okay? So JPM, well, pretty much the same thing. Okay, so let's take a look at the upside here first. So we're looking through yesterday's high. You're looking at 222.05, and then we're looking right to the bottom of this candle right here. You're looking at 224.23. Then, if you can rally up here, we got this candle. Okay, so you're looking at 227.30, and then we'll be running right into that 200-day at 231.19, and that 8-day sitting right on top of that 231.25 level. Okay, so that is your upside. Now on the downside here, well, obviously we're going to be watching today's low. You're looking at 218.31, and then what we'll do is we'll come all the way down here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 208.93, and then your big retest down there at 202.16. But again, this is the traders market. You can see where you had the red candle. Say we had Goldman here, have the red candle, and it couldn't go any higher. You couldn't even close the gap there. Now, this here looks very, very good because what we made a high today of 227.84, and then we look at the bottom of this candle here at 227.30. So this gap here is filled. That's very, very nice, okay? But again, this is a trader's market, so when you see it running up towards that area here, that's where your resistance level is. You take one level at a time. Once you break through here, then we look to the bottom of that candle for next. That's that fill. Then if you keep on running, we look for the 200-day, the 8-day, and the 21-day, but that's not what it did, okay? So when it gets there and it rejects it, that's when you got to take the trade off. Again, trader's market. Okay, let's take a look here now at Bitcoin. Okay, here we have Bitcoin. This is your daily chart going on here, okay? So let me bigger up a little bit there for you. Okay, now you can see here where yesterday we put in that low, okay, all the way down there at 74,635 level, okay? So what we're watching is the top of this candle right here. This was going to be your support level at 74,485. It held that, okay, for as of now. Then it rallied up here and it closed back above this 200-day, which is very, very nice. Now, today what we have is an inside day, high and low is the inside of the previous day. Now, you notice here so far, there's time left. It could not hold this 200 SMA here at that 78,580 level. That's going to be very crucial. And then what we have is we have this like a double top tweezer top situation. So obviously this here looks like a lower situation. So on the downside here, you want to watch today's low. That's at 615 level. And then we want to watch obviously yesterday's low at that 635. Now again, if that's lost here, then we just follow the candles right here. Okay, this is what you're looking at is 74,485. that's going to be your next support level. Then we can just wind these candles all the way down here. You got 73,600. What we have here is 72,190. Then we come down here. You have 69,785. Then we can look right to the bottom of that candle at 67,140 level. Okay, so realistically, you have everything you need to know. Now you can stretch this out here because there is a lot of good support levels here when we take just the tops of these candles here going all the way down. But right here, this looks very, very strong as of support. So we got to see how this is all going to shake out. So it could come all the way down to the bottom of this candle here very easily at that 67,140 level. Okay, so but again, we have to lose yesterday's candle in order to do that. So what we're trading against is the same thing we're doing all day. It's just against yesterday's candle, that high 81,450 and that low of 74,635. Now on the upside, that 76 or 81,450, there's your gap, and then look right to the bottom of this candle here. This is going to be 81,890. There's your fill. So that's your upside targets. And then we head right into that 8-day, which is going to be strong resistance at 82,750, and then your 21-day at 84,003. Now, just remember, when that 8-day crossed over this 21-day, there's nothing bullish about that. Okay, so when the futures open here at 6, this 8-day is going to be lower, and any kind of resistance is going to be very, very strong going into it, just like we had here, and even on this spike. Yeah, we spiked up here, but you notice it couldn't close above. Okay, very, very strong. Okay, another example here is this 21-day. See how it goes into it, nothing. Okay, so you got to be very, very cautious. So when it does get up in this area, you want to take off some of your position until we close above the 8 and close above that 21-day. Then we can go to the next level here, which is basically your price channel level. Okay, at that 89.20, and then we have your 50-day at 89.88, and then we can come up to your 100 SMA here at 893. But right now, that's not what we have. Okay, so on the upside again, watch that key level, that 200-day, and then we can get above that. We watch the gap to fill the 8-day and the 21-day. On the downside, just watch yesterday's low. That's going to be very, very crucial on a closing basis. Okay, let's take a look here now at crude oil. Okay, here we have crude oil. Now, again, wasn't really much of a day for the old crude ski. I am short with the SCO, and I'm staying short until it proves me different. Okay, so what we had is we had this double top, and then it's just rolling right over. Now, yesterday we had this huge indecision candle going on. Okay, so what we did is it came all the way down, and then when they said that they're going to delay the tariff, it rallied all the way up, and it just finished kind of like a flat situation. Now today, this is what we're trading against here. You're sitting at 59.03, that 58.95 level. I'm going to show you here on the weekly next where it could possibly go. Now upside, basically, what you have to do is look to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 60.45, and then we'll come up to the top of that candle. You're looking at a 61.75 level here, and then we can come to the top of yesterday's high. That's at 63.90, but we're really looking for the bottom of this candle, which is 65.22. That's going to be very, very crucial. And then that 8-day sitting there at 66.40. Now, the 8-day will be lower when those futures do open. So what you're doing is you're trading basically with this candle here. If it can rally up here, you got to watch that level right there, 65.22, and then right into that 8-day, okay? Then you want to take some off the table there because it's going to be very strong resistance, the 8, the 20-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200. Your price is way below. It just looks like this is just absolute waterfall. So when the market sells, this sells. When the market was up here today, it started rallying a little bit here, but nothing great. Now, when you look at the RSI, we're getting to a way oversold condition. Doesn't mean it can't stay there, but you're in an oversold condition here. So anytime, any kind of a news here, you should get a relief rally here off of crude. But obviously, it could go lower, and I'm going to show you where it could possibly go. Let's take a look here at the weekly. Okay, here we have the weekly all stretched out. So we're sitting at about 59.17 level there, okay? So what we're watching here is we're watching all these key levels here, and then we're coming all the way down to the bottom of this candle. This is your next target right here. Is going to be that 57.25 level if that 58 and change is lost, okay? Then what we do is we can just follow the candles all the way down here, okay? So what we have next here is you got 57 flat there. Then we come on top of this candle here. You're looking at 53.93, okay? So 57.25 is lost. 53.93, that is going to be your target, okay? And then we just follow the candles all the way down here. You got as low here as 47.18, and you could come all the way down to the bottom here if this really gets hammered all the way down to 33.64 here level. Now, I'm not saying that's where it's going, but what you really want to do is just watch this left of this chart here, because where it's been is usually where it's going to be going again, okay? So always remember that. So your next level here, if this is today's low is lost, is going to be that 57.25 level, and then we're going to come right down here to this basically 53.93. So you're looking at about a 54 level. That is going to be your next target. Now, here on a weekly here, we're not oversold yet. We're getting close there, but we're not oversold. Your green is below your red. This is absolute flat line, but this just looks a lot lower. Now, remember, when we have this trading action here, okay, and then it starts selling off here and you start losing all those simple moving averages, there is no really big upside to that unless you have some kind of a catalyst, okay? Now, just remember, this is crude oil, okay? They're going to have some excuse here down the road here to raise crude oil prices, raise gasoline prices, so always take that into consideration when you're trading the old crude oil, okay? That's why I like trading crude oil. It's always in play. Now, this is just not just a tariff situation. This is also because OPEC is going to be adding oil here starting in May 1st, okay? So there's nothing positive of what's going on here. So for me, how I trade this is I'm short. SCO for the short, and then what I'll do is I'll just scalp the longs with the UCO here if I see that there's a trade there. If there's no trade there, then I just pass and just move on. Okay, let's take a look here now at natural gas. Okay, here we have natural gas, your weekly chart. Now you can see here we had this nice double top situation, bigger up a little bit there. Okay, that nice double top here, like I've been talking, 425. Now we just have a series of lower lows and lower highs. See this? There's nothing positive here on a bullish area, okay? So what we're watching here today, you're sitting there right now at 351, okay? Right now it got as low as 346. So I said, watch this candle. It's going to be very, on a closing basis, 355. Obviously, we lost that, okay? Then your next level here is 346, and that's where we went to today. Now, your next level keeps on going is going to be 343, and then we're going to come down here at 335, and then we're going to here at 329 level, and then we can come down to the bottom of this candle here, 323, and then this is what you're looking for, is that 316 level, okay? Because that's your gap, 311 is your fill, okay? Gap and your fill, and then we have your 200-day all the way down here. Now, I'm not saying it's going to get all the way to the 200-day. That's why we always watch right here. These are going to be your support levels, okay? But again, there's nothing bullish here. This is not in seasonality in play right now. There's nothing happening. But again, remember, down the road here, you got the LNG going on here. If you have a real hot summer, your power plants are all fed now pretty much by natural gas. That's going to raise the price of gas here. So right now here, you're kind of like in midterm, like a seasonality thing. So there's like mid-season, there's nothing here happening here. Winter's ending for a lot of people. But right now here, this just looks lower. So KOLD, that's my trade right now. I already scalped it twice there today, and I got a long position going. The second trade is still on, okay? And I got a stop loss there. It's sitting right now at 26.09. I got a stop loss at 25.90. So I'm going to see how that all shakes out. So, but I'll be riding this one down here, but I'll close it out here before the end of the day. I don't really like holding natural gas there, long or short, overnight here. Okay. Now, upside, if it can get some kind of a rally going here, then we want to look back here at this 355 level. Okay. And then we look to yesterday's low. You're looking at 360, and then we're going to be looking at here at that 367 level, and then look at the bottom of this candle, 373, and then we can start with the simple moving averages. There's your 50 at 386, there's your 8-day at 390, and then there's your 21-day at 397. Okay, but right now here on the upside, just watch that 100-day. Okay, if what the reaction is, like say tomorrow or when the future's open, if you can get back up there. If not, this is just going lower. You look at the RSI, you're not nowhere near oversold. This has plenty of room to run on the way down. Same way your green is over your red here. This is looking very bearish. Long way on the downside left hit. So to me, your big target is going to be this 200 SMA, but we'll see if it can actually get down there. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning, and we'll take a look at Bitcoin, at crude oil, and at natural gas. And just remember, this is a trader's market. So, you know what I'm saying? Just because you had a big rally, you had over 1,000-point rally there in the Dow, and now it's down to 84. You had a big rally in the NASDAQ, and what it is, it's a negative 75. So trade this market. put the money in your pocket until we get some kind of a clarity on all these tariffs. All right, trade what's in front of you, not what you want.